the IOM in the room. The new topic is the crisis on the Red Sea route. It's a crisis of irregular migration which exhibits untold suffering for migrants, the loss of lives at the desert and at sea. Your Excellency, please allow me to invite our technical assistance partner, Ms. Nihan Edogan. She's the IOM Deputy Regional Director for Operations, East, Horn, and Southern Africa.
Honorable Omar Abdi Said, the Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection of the Republic of Djibouti and the Chair of IGAD, Your Excellency Dr. Woknet Gebeyahu, Executive Secretary of IGAD, Your Excellency Dr. Alfred Mutua, Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Ministers of Labor, Social Protection, Skills, and Interior from the IGAD member states, Her Excellency Ambassador Dr. Denisa Elena Ionete, European Union Ambassador to the Republic of Djibouti and IGAD, Mr. Joel Idegie, Secretary General of the International Trade Union Confederation for Africa, Dr. Cyril Khatim Mohammed, President of the Horn of Africa Confederation of the Trade Unions, Dr. David Moges, Secretary General of the Confederation of the IGAD Employers, Mr. Kumbula Nadaba, Regional Director of ILO. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Good morning. It's a privilege to address the third IGAD Ministerial Conference on labor, employment, and labor migration. This conference is an important milestone in our shared commitment in making migration a driver of stability, decent work, and regional integration across the IGAD region. Over the past 2 days, experts have analyzed the 3 core priorities: advancing the pillars of the Djibouti Declaration, addressing the famous Red Sea route irregular migration crisis, and operationalizing the IGAD single visa initiative. Their recommendations will support today's conference towards concrete policy decisions. Excellencies, the IGAD region hosts over 7.5 million international migrants. This number is more than the double of the figure a decade ago. Youth unemployment remains high, and climate pressures continue to reshape livelihoods. Against this backdrop, labor mobility offers a challenge and at the same time a solution. And the Red Sea route, it remains to be one of the busiest and most dangerous migration corridors in the world. By August of this year, there were more than 230,000 people who went through this journey towards the Arabian Peninsula. 230,000 people in the first 8 months of this year. And there were more than 600 people who were reported dead or missing. And the real number is likely to be higher. IOM and IGAD, we are already working towards responding to these realities. Through the Regional Migrant Response Plan, We support member states to strengthen protection, humanitarian assistance, and sustainable integration along this route, while enhancing the data that guides national labor migration planning. Since 2018, when this regional migrant response plan was established, over 1 million migrants have received life-saving support through this collective action. Excellencies, the migration crisis that many of the previous speakers already mentioned along the Red Sea route, it urgently requires our collective attention and action. IOM is working closely with IGAD member states along this route to convene a high-level ministerial dialogue to deliberate on the challenges of irregular migration, promote safe and regular migration, as well as to strengthen the interstate collaboration. Please allow me to commend IGAD for advancing transformative initiatives, such as the Free Movement Protocol, Djibouti Declaration, and the IGAD Single Visa Initiative. Excellencies, we look forward to adopting a ministerial communique that reaffirms our collective commitments to ethical recruitment, social protection for migrant workers, and regional mechanisms that provide safe alternatives to irregular migration in the Red Sea route. IOM stands ready to support you, the member states, in turning these commitments into measurable results for workers seeking dignity, for communities building resilience, and for a region investing in shared prosperity through mobility. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Nihan. Thank you for your remarks, and thank you for the collaboration. Our guest of honor, on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Workene Gebeyehu, I would like to take this opportunity to invite His Excellency Omar Abdi Said, the Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection of the Government of the Republic of Djibouti, who is also the IGAD chair in this session. Please, Excellency, address the meeting.
Excellence, Monsieur Alfred Mutua,
Your Excellency Alfred Mutua, Minister for Labor, Republic of Kenya.
des pays délégats,
Dear colleagues, Mr. Executive Secretary of IGAD, Dr. Workene Gebeyehu, ladies and gentlemen of the partners, ladies and gentlemen, representative, the tripartite representation of the Director Regional of
Dear colleagues, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a great honor for me to speak on behalf of the government of Djibouti as chair of the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD, during this high-level ministerial conference on roads. And human capital. We have a robust youth, an ambitious youth. Nevertheless, we are facing a lot of structural challenges, amongst them unemployment that have reached extremely high levels and which pushes our youth to look for green opportunities abroad. Given this situation, it's time to work together collectively with regard to migration issues. Most of the time, migration, if well governed, represents a big opportunity for development. Migrant workers contribute to the economic growth, not only through remittances, but also through transfer of skills and know-how to ensure that this mobility benefits everybody. It has to be founded on just policies that guarantee human rights, recognition of skills, and to ensure, of course, that they are equitable. So Djibouti, as the chair of IGAD, would like to reaffirm its determination to help us move forward in this endeavor. We would like to call upon all to cooperate to ensure that our legal and institutional frameworks are reinforced. To need to put in place mechanisms for social portability of social protection. We would like to support our financial and technical partners for the support they've given us in a spirit of solidarity and mutual respect and sustainable partnerships. We need to together work as IGAD member states to realize our objectives. We need to ensure labor mobility brings us stability and also to promote social cohesion. We are not here not only to govern migratory flows, but also to ensure that we guarantee each worker dignity, security, and also professional growth wherever they are found in our region. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the Republic of Djibouti would like to reaffirm its commitment with regard to labor migration that is just, that is productive, that is going to help us to get shared prosperity. We call upon you to work together with us to ensure that regular migrations helped us to move forward. I would like to call upon our partners to support us even more. I would like to thank you for your kind attention.
See IGAD Chair, also the Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection of the Government of the Republic of Djibouti. On behalf of His Excellency, Dr. Workene Gebeye, who's here with us, our honorable guest of honor would like to show us solidarity with the government and the people of Kenya for this season of mourning, but also celebration of the life of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And so I would like to request the conference delegates to stand up for 1 minute of silence. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much, delegates. We can take our seats. Excellency, our guest of honor, on behalf of His Excellency, Dr. Workene, who is here with us, I would like to warmly welcome you, Honorable Minister, Dr. Alfred Mutua, to address the Conference of Ministers of Labor and Employment, our development partners, trade unions, and all our delegates. Welcome, Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning again. I want to begin by welcoming you to Kenya and requesting you to feel at home. You don't have to go back to your country. You can hang around here for a while. Our visa is very flexible. You know, we have a free visa policy. And if you want a good excuse, of not going home, we can work with our foreign affairs and we can confiscate your passports for a few days, and we'll get the bureaucracy working so that you stay here for quite a bit. It is my pleasure to recognize Your Excellency Omar Said, our chair, and Minister from Djibouti, and my very good friend, Your Excellency Dr. Wokni. It's good to see you again. It's been a while. And the IGAD Executive Secretary. Also to recognize our other friends and partners. I'll not read all the names because they've been read, but got our friends from South Sudan, from Uganda, Somalia, Ethiopia. Thank you very much, the European Union, for the continued support. Thank you very much, IOM, and also the ILO for the continued support and partnership that we have. I want to thank you for recognition of Raila Amolo Odinga, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who has gone to be with the ancestors. And he was a Pan-Africanist. He believed in Africa being one. And that's what we've been working towards, getting this continent to work together for the benefit of all of us. As I said once when I was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, is that we spend too much time in the African continent keeping each other away from each other. And our sister from European Union will tell you that they kind of go through and work through their countries, moving very fast, trading and working. I want to apologize that we started a few minutes late because as the ministers, we sat in the room next door and we consulted on several issues. So we're discussing on a few issues that we'll be talking about as we continue today. I want to, in addition to welcome you, to thank the IGAD Secretariat in collaboration with ILO for organizing the first and second conference of the Ministers of Labor and Employment of the IGAD region, 2021 in Djibouti, 2023 in Addis Ababa, and this one here. This meeting marks a significant step in our collective efforts to enhance decent work of all workers, good governance, and socio-economic progress in the region. Kenya is committed to a regional cooperation under IGAD's framework, particularly in advancing human mobility that supports both development and stability. We applaud the choice of the three themes that we've been talking about, and the Secretariat and the technical team, you had a good meeting, and we were briefed about it, and we're very happy with what you've been able to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, a significant number of migrant workers from the IGAD region work in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. And we had a discussion this morning about how we can work together. It was said here this morning that migration should be for aspiration and not for desperation. Our continent is blessed. The fertility rate in our continent is very high, as you know. So we've got a very large group of young, educated men and women. However, our economic growth has not been as fast as our population growth. This has become a challenge. So here we have people, workers, with no jobs. But in the GCC, Europe and others, they have jobs with no workers. So as the economy grows, we are trying to fill that gap by sending some of our qualified people there. And we have agreed today that we will work together and with the leadership of IGAD, have one position so that we can negotiate as IGAD for good working conditions, good salaries, good packages, good deals for our people who are going overseas for a short time. Here in Kenya, we changed the name from labor migration. Our people are not migrating. It's labor mobility. They are going there for a few years and coming back home. So we want to send our people there, they make some income as we grow our economy so they can come back here and be able to work here. Because at the end of the day, we need to provide enough jobs for our people in our country without sending them away. But this cannot come in without us relaxing the way we think and the way we work together. We have to open our borders for each other. We have to open and allow the free movement of people and trade. We have to get industries growing. We have the African Free Continental free trade area, and with a population of 1.4 billion people who can buy our products. So we need to get heavily into manufacturing, even within the IGAD region, so that our people can be employed within the region. Ladies and gentlemen, the lack of timely and comprehensive labor market information, labor migration, hinders development and implementation of appropriate policies and strategies. There is therefore need to address the data gap, and I think Wakni talked about that, the data gaps through development of labor market information systems for migrant workers and those in diaspora. Such a system will enable us to be able to collect, analyze, and disseminate labor-on-labor migration, which is useful for policy formulation, job search, and matching of local skills to foreign job opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, human trafficking continues to be a challenge, and it has been identified as a leading form of transnational organized crime in the region, as the region is perceived to be a source, transit, and destination for migrant workers being trafficked and smuggled. Here in Kenya, we are putting measures together because Kenya has been identified as a major conduit of human trafficking. People come through here because of the ease of communication to other European countries and other countries. We even have Kenyans who have been trafficked to other nations to work. They live here with visitors' visas, our tourist visas, promised good jobs. When they get there, they find they're in trouble. And this is happening. I was talking to a group of Kenyans who got back from a European nation, who they were sent there on a visitor's visa, tourist visa, thinking they're going to work in a workshop as a driver, and on arriving they were given a gun and bullets and sent to the front line. And they said over there, I asked them, why is it only Kenyans? They said, no, we are there with Ugandans, with Sudanese, with all Africans, you know. And so we need to be able to work together to stop this human trafficking, because our people are desperate for jobs and we have to be able to protect them. I wish to urge member countries to look beyond labor migration for employment opportunities for the youth, so that we can look at how we can prioritize opportunities here, the promotion of green and digital jobs as emerging pillars of sustainable economic transformation. We talked about the Red Sea and the loss of people. The statistics have been mentioned here, and it is a pity that we are losing people every year. I think Walkney gave the statistics, 3,000, 3,400, 60,000 people are migrating and everything. And it's that desperation in our continent that we need to cure. And I used to listen to music called reggae. Some of you may know it. And there was a guy called Mutambaruka who said that the solutions that we seek will never come from outside, but from among ourselves. And for us to be able to seek those solutions, we have to learn to be able to work together and live together. You know, the problem we have in our continent right now is this inability to maintain peace and stability. And if we can be able to sort out our security apparatus, peace and stability, then we can have growth. Because anytime there is violence, anytime there is instability, anytime bullets are flying, and you will know, IGAD region has been facing these challenges, then that becomes a precursor for desperation, and which leads eventually to the fiasco we see with the Red Sea crossings, and we see all the death that is happening and the challenges that are happening for our people. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate Kenya's government full support for IGAD's ongoing efforts to operationalize regional migration frameworks and to promote cross-border cooperation that leaves no community behind. We recognize that managing transhumance and cross-border migration is not only a security or administrative concern, but also a matter of livelihoods, resilience, and peace building. I'm very keen that IGAD can work together on issues of labor and migration, so that whenever we go outside, we work as a team. We negotiate as a team, we sort out issues as a team. Because if we work together with that strength of negotiation, then it's going to be beneficial to all of us. I want to conclude by urging all of you, please, to not just stay in Nairobi, but to explore a bit of Kenya. I've seen some of you drinking coffee as if it's going out of business. Ethiopia has coffee, but we have slightly better coffee. And Ethiopia will give you, they have very good coffee. Ethiopia will give you their coffee in cans, but we can organize and send you to actually harvest your own coffee. It's just 30 minutes drive. You actually see the trees where the coffee comes from, you harvest your own coffee, and you grind your own coffee originally from the tree. And some of you are drinking a lot of tea. And as you know, Kenya produces the best tea in the world. Coffee, we may argue a bit with Ethiopia. But tea there, don't even say anything. And we've got our tea farms, only 20 minutes drive, and we've got the best tea in the world. And so we need to be able to share this. Just outside where we are, if you meander and lose your way walking in the evening, and you see a big cat, it may not be a cat, it may be a leopard, because we are right next to the national park. And so I hope if you've never been to the Nairobi National Park, please, it is just next door, take a visit. You know, it's very near. Even if you've seen other lions and you've seen other elephants and you've seen giraffes and others, well, that's okay, but our lions have not seen you. So they also need to see you. You know, they also need to get that opportunity to say, yeah, I saw our friends from the IGAD nation. So it is my pleasure to declare this very important forum officially open and to tell you, let us continue with these wonderful deliberations. Thank you, and God bless.
Excellency, our guest of honor, Dr. Alfred, I'm sure we are many candidates here who would like to stay with you in the Republic of Kenya. So to drink the tea and the coffee and to see the lions. So we are so much at home here. Thank you, Excellency, Honorable Minister. Our guest of honor, I just have a small job for you. That is the reading of the agenda of the ministerial session. Excellency, after you've opened the workshop, the experts who have been very busy here for the last 2 days would like to show you a 3-minute video. And also, Excellency, our guest of honor, would like to request that we amend the agenda a little bit on behalf of the IGAD Secretariat, that after the tea break, we shall go straight to the statements by the IGAD Ministers of Labor, Employment, and Labor Migration in alphabetical order of their countries. After the Ministers of Labor have given their statements, we shall then hear the statements from the IGAD Ministers of Interior on the status of free movement of persons in the region and potential for IGAD single visa regime for non-IGAD citizens. Our guest of honor, after the ministers have spoken, the IGAD Secretariat would then like to present to you the draft communique for your consideration and the consideration of the ministers for adoption. And together with this session, we would like to request you, guest of honor, to graciously launch this phase 2 of the project, support to free movement of persons and transhumans in the IGAD region. Excellency, our guest of honor, the closing ceremony would be presided over by His Excellency, the IGAD Executive Secretary, who's here with you, Dr. Workenegebeyehu, and the IGAD Chair, His Excellency, the Minister of Labor from the Republic of Djibouti, and then yourself, you will close officially the meeting. Afterwards, the media can have interactions with you and the honorable ministers and the ambassadors after we've closed. Excellency, I submit the agenda for adoption.
Est-ce qu'il y a-t-il des commentaires?
Do we have any comments with regard to the agenda, or should we adopt it as it is? Any comments? So I think everybody agrees we're gonna adopt the agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Excellency, IGAD Chair. Thank you for the adoption of the agenda. And thank you so much, our guest of honor, for presiding over the opening ceremony. I would like to request you that this now is the time to have some memorable pics from our communication team, Austin, Bob, and the others. They are going to come here and support us to take pictures right here at the podium. And therefore, Austin has requested me to request all the ministers present and all the ambassadors present to come and join the high table so that you can take pictures. All the ministers present, all the ambassadors present to come to the podium. We can all stand up for the group photo. Thank you so much. I think we can stretch a little bit outside for 10 minutes, and then we shall return for the session of ministers.
into the sounds you love. Take your playlists anywhere with offline downloads, or play your song of the moment again and again with unlimited repeats. Get all the music without hearing audio ads on Spotify Premium. Tap the banner to learn more.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start our next session. Please take your seats. And Bob, please invite people back from the coffee break. Please, can we have you Excellencies and distinguished delegates, this third IGAD Ministerial Conference is going to look at three things. The themes are labor employment and labor migration, the crisis of irregular migration on the Red Sea route, and the IGAD Single Visa Initiative for non-IGAD travelers in our region.
This meeting marks a significant step in our collective efforts as government to enhance mobility governance, promote safe and orderly migration, and to strengthen structures, institutional organizations that we have towards the promotion of social economic development in the IGAD region.
We are progressing well in the ratification of this, important component of the free movement. The signature of the protocol by 5 out of 7 IGAD member states is statement that a free movement of persons regime is important for the region's prosperity and development.
As the region navigates through a wide range of socio-economic challenges, the commitments made in the Djibouti Declaration, as well as the communique of the last ministerial meeting that outlined further action points to strengthen our governance of labor, employment and labor migration, remain as significant and urgent as ever.
This expert meeting will afford us opportunity to reflect on the state of play in the IGAD region, and in particular, the Red Sea and Gulf of Eden corridor.
This route is one of the busiest and deadly routes in the whole world. In the first half of this year alone, more than 230,000 people, they took this journey starting here in the IGAD region, facing unimaginable risks.
We are here also to explore opportunities with regard to the single visa regime in IGAD, and to help us have people moving freely, to help regional integration, and also to facilitate trade within our region.
We are building cooperation and collaboration between recruitment agencies on the continent of Africa, between both of us, to say, how do we work together to improve the recruitment process? Because at the heart of migration is recruitment, and our approach is that recruitment must be fair.
But when you look at the convention and the related recommendation, we need to enrich so that it also has, yes, there's pre-departure, but when you arrive in the hosting country, what next?
The countries of destination, particularly the Gulf countries, don't have established social protection systems as such. They have some social protection schemes, and for member states to have portability of social protection, we need to have social protection systems in both sides, both in origin and destination.
One of the good opportunities that we will be getting from this declaration is the launch of the Doha Dialogue. The launch of the Doha Dialogue is an opportunity for us, if in the coming dialogues we are included, as you have heard from the workers, that it was only one country that was tripartite. But for us, we will be working hard to see into it that we are represented in the coming dialogues.
I think sometimes in negotiating, sometimes when we hide those agreements, it's because of sometimes those power relations in negotiations. Because if you negotiate when you have power and you're negotiating as a bloc, it will be clear. So sometimes you may be afraid because you know what, you're hiding maybe something which should be in the open if you negotiated together, as a bloc. Republic of Djibouti, and also IGAD Chair, as well as His Excellency Dr. Workene. With him, they will come and officiate session. We prepared for you the seats up here. He would like to stay where he is.
Thank you very much, moderator. I would like once again to thank the Secretariat Executive and the different speakers for their presentation. This video that we've seen, this shows the collective work we're doing, or the common challenges that face our region. The work you have done in the past 2 days is gonna guide us in this ministerial session. I would like to invite the ministers. I give the floor to the minister from the Republic of Ethiopia, Federal Republic of Ethiopia, to give his speech.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Omar Abdi Said, Minister of Labor, Formalization and Social Protection of the Republic of Djibouti and Chair of IGAD. Your Excellency, Dr. Workene Gabeyo, Executive Secretary of IGAD. Your Excellency, Dr. Alfred Mutua, Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable James Hotmai, Minister of Labor of the Republic of South Sudan, Honorable General Mangar Bau Ako, Acting Minister, Ministry of Interior of the Republic of South Sudan, Excellency Jibril Ibrahim Abdulle, Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Somalia to Kenya, Honorable Dr. Mutuzu Peace Regis, Minister of State for Gender and Cultural Affairs of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable General David Muhuzi, Minister of State for Internal Affairs, Republic of Uganda, esteemed representatives from ILO, IOM, EU, and all development partners, esteemed representatives of social partners, esteemed delegates, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It is a profound honor to address this pivotal conference on labor employment and labor migration on behalf of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. At this critical juncture, Ethiopia renews its steadfast commitment to the vision of a prosperous, integrated IGAD region underpinned by secure labor mobility and the uncompromising protection of migrant workers' rights and welfare. We recognize the pivotal nature of the protocol on free movement of persons and transhumans. This instrument is not merely a legal document. It is the socio-economic bedrock for secure, orderly, and dignified cross-border labor mobility, aligning perfectly with Ethiopia's national priorities, from safeguarding pastoral livelihoods through transhumance to facilitating regulated labor migration. This protocol is essential for fostering regional stability and shared prosperity. Furthermore, Ethiopia reaffirms its unqualified commitment to the Djibouti Declaration on Labor, Employment and Labor Migration, and its comprehensive plan of action. We are dedicated to implementing its 7 foundational pillars, which are the blueprint for harmonizing national labor and migration governance, guaranteeing decent work conditions for all migrant workers, expanding social protection covering cross borders. These strategic actions are vital catalysts for sustained economic growth and rights-based governance across our region. Excellencies, we stand on the foundation laid by the Executive Secretary, Dr. Workaneh Gabayo, at the second Ministerial Conference in Addis Ababa. His recognition of mobility and migration as powerful catalyst for human progress and regional integration remains our guiding principle. It is therefore with appreciation that we note the significant progress made by the IGAD Secretariat in partnership with the ILO and others in translating the 2021 Djibouti Declaration into tangible actions. We commend the efforts across 5 critical fronts, including the preparation of robust implementation plans, the diligent work to enhance capacity for migration governance, and the formulation of the draft IGAD social protection strategy. Crucially, the development of the labor market information system, or LMIS, must now be finalized to enable truly evidence-based policy making. Building on these achievements, Ethiopia fully endorses the Executive Secretariat's appeals for our collective future. We must urgently ratify key ILO international labor standards to foster the decent work agenda and ensure a dignified environment for our region's youth. Furthermore, we must accelerate the strengthening of social protection for all workers, especially vulnerable labor migrants and those in the informal economy. This is both a moral and an economic imperative. Finally, Ethiopia supports the full participation of this ministerial committee and a dedicated technical team in the proposed African Union-led dialogue with the GCC on labor migration, ensuring technical outcomes are swiftly translated into effective, high-level policy decisions that safeguard the interests of our workers abroad. This conference is convened at a time of heightened complexity. The IGAD region grapples with multifaceted challenges, from the escalating impacts of climate variability and protected conflicts to persistent food insecurity and chronic youth unemployment. These circumstances amplify the urgent need for coordinated, rights-respecting, and inclusive labor migration governance. We must collectively translate regional agreements, including the IGAD Regional Migration Policy Framework and the Protocol on Free Movement of Persons, into concrete national actions. We call for intensified cooperation to dismantle the trafficking and exploitation networks that prey upon our citizens, the humanitarian risks which disproportionately affect Ethiopian migrants along critical corridors, demand that we strengthen our collaboration with destination countries, notably through multilateral platforms such as the Doha Dialogue on Labor Mobility. Ethiopia's strategic commitments. To advance this ambitious agenda, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia pledges to intensify its efforts in the following areas. 1. Accelerate domestication and enforcement. We will prioritize swift domestication and rigorous enforcement of international labor standards and IGAD regional instruments, ensuring the governance of our labor markets is fundamentally inclusive and rights-based. 2. Strengthen social resilience. We commit to fortifying social protection systems to ensure coverage extends to all workers, including migrants, those in the formal sector, and rural populations, while deeply embedding gender-responsive approaches in line with IGAD gender policy framework. So, 3, combat exploitation. We will promote fair and ethical recruitment practices and enhance regional mechanisms to comprehensively combat irregular migration, exploitation, and scourge of human trafficking. 4, boost digital integration. 5, foster tripartite dialogue. Conclusion. Ethiopia expresses its deepest appreciation for the steadfast partnership of the IGAD Secretariat, the International Labour Organization, the International Organization for Migration, the European Union, and all our valued development allies and social partners. Your unwavering commitment is vital to realizing these collective visions. We meet today to forge a path where labor migration serves not as a challenge, but as a powerful catalyst for inclusive socio-economic growth and mutual benefit. As a nation devoted to upholding the dignity and rights of all workers, Ethiopia pledged to intensify our national reforms and our regional cooperation to establish labor markets that are transparent, fair, and just. Let this conference serve as the moment we collectively strengthen our resolve to attain prosperity through decent work, enhanced governance, and social justice for all the people of the IGAD region. I thank you.
I would like to ask my colleague or ministers to try to be brief. I would like to ask my colleague ministers to be brief because we still have a lot of items on the agenda. I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Alfred Mutua from the Republic of Kenya. You have the floor, sir. Dr. Alfred Mutua.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for this opportunity. I'll be very quick. Mr. Chair, Honorable Ministers, fellow ministers, the distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government of Kenya and the people of the Republic of Kenya, I wish to reaffirm Kenya's commitment to fulfill the requirements of the Djibouti Declaration 2021 on labor employment and labor migration. The declaration provides a regional framework for promoting decent work for labor mobility and social protection among IGAD states. Kenya has made significant strides in aligning its labor, employment, and migration policies with the 7 pillars of the declaration, and I'm going to go through them very quickly. The first one is employment and labor policy. Here we have developed labor mobility policy, and we're also finalizing on the labor migration or labor policy management bill, labor mobility management bill. And we also have a labor mobility strategy to streamline governance, enhance transparency, and promote ethical recruitment. When it comes to social dialogue, we work very closely, tripartite consultations between the Federation of Kenya Workers, the COTU, which is the mother platform for majority of the unions, and us. And we are talking with them all the time about migration, and that's on the social dialogue. The other point is on protection of workers' rights in migration, and We've developed a migrant workers welfare fund to provide emergency support and facilitate repatriation. We have also enhanced our labor attaches and offices overseas, and even established labor desk at the JKIA and Moi International Airport to ensure that we have a record of everybody who is traveling. An interagency technical committee on labor mobility has been established to enhance institutional coordination and data sharing, and we are collaborating with IGAD, ILO, and the African Union to strengthen institutional capacity and information management. We have been talking, and we really support the process we discussed today about IGAD working together, that bring us together so that nations can come under IGAD and go overseas and negotiate as a team. So we have one standard for IGAD nations so that we enhance our protection of human rights and even the capacity. It is unfair that at times workers are paid according to their passport. You know, we all have human blood running through our veins, and just because you carry a passport from one country should not mean that you're paid more than somebody else doing the same work. So we want to demand for the end of this discrimination, and we can do that through IGAD. So we say equal pay based on equal work. On the ratification of standards, Kenya has ratified ILO Convention number 143 and is in the process of ratifying Conventions 181, 189, and 190, which are clear instruments for migrant domestic workers' protection. On the promotion of extension of social protection to all, we have extended social protection coverage through health insurance. Kenya now has rolled out and are very, very successful, and it's getting better on the day, a universal health care program where it will not matter how rich you are or how poor you are, it will not matter which family you come from, you will also be able to get free treatment through this process. So if you get cancer, and it doesn't mean that you don't need to have money to be taken to Italy or Europe, you'll be able to be treated here, and even your bills covered if you go overseas for treatment under the universal health care. We also have a program, we call it Inua Jamii. It is a support program for people who are disabled, our orphans, and also our older citizens over the age of 70. They're given a small stipend every month that they can be able to use to buy a few things for their lives so that they don't fall through. On the number 6 is the gender equality and equity. The Kenya National Labour Mobility Policy integrates gender-responsive provisions to safeguard the rights of women migrant workers. It promotes collection of sex-disaggregated data, gender-sensitive pre-departure training, and tailored interventions for women in domestic and informal cross-border work. We also advanced this. We are also in the advanced stages of ratifying ILO Convention number 189 on domestic workers. And on partnership, advocacy, and regional cooperation, we actively continue to work with IGAD, ILO, and UN Women and the African Union Commission to strengthen gender equality and decent work in regional labor migration and governance. And Honorable Chair and colleagues, I want to say that Kenya supports the One Visa program we've been talking about. We are slightly ahead of many nations because any African can come to this country. Basically, I think it's only 1 or 2 countries because of security, but all Africans, you can wake up in the morning and get a ticket and come to Kenya, and you'll enter the country free. You don't have to pay for visa, you don't need an ETA, electronic transfer, so we've started that process. So we're in fully support, and I urge other countries to follow what we are doing, especially in the IGAD region, and then we see, because you can come to Kenya and spend and stay here for 90 days. If you're from East Africa Commission, it's 6 months. That's enough time to get your bearing if you want now to change your visa, to do business here, to work here, to get your goods transferred, because we do believe in that. Our strength is Africans working together with Africans by removing all these restrictions and shenanigans that were put there by colonial masters who believe that by separating us, they would weaken us. We know that unity is strength. So I urge all of us, and we remain committed to advancing the objectives of the Djibouti Declaration. Thank you, and God bless
you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your contribution. His Microphone is off, huh?
Honorable ministers, honorable representatives of ILO, EU, and OIM, representatives of trade unions and employers, distinguished guests, good afternoon. It's an honor to address this distinguished gathering on behalf of the Federal Republic of Somalia at the third IGAD Ministerial Conference on Labor, Employment, and Labor Migration. Allow me to begin by expressing Somalia's deep appreciation to the government of Kenya for its warm hospitality and to the IGAD Secretariat and its partners, particularly the International Labour Organization and European Union for their continued commitment to advancing decent work and protecting migrant workers across our region. Over the past year, Somalia has taken an important steps to strengthen labor governance and align in its national frameworks with international labor standards. Earlier this year, Somalia adopted a new labor code, the first comprehensive updated on a labor law in more than 5 decades. This reform was developed through tripartite social dialogue involving Minister of Labor and Social Affairs, Federation of Somali Trade Union, as well as Somali Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with the technical support from International Labour Organization. The new labor code provides protection against forced labor, discrimination and violence, and harassment, particularly for women and vulnerable workers. It guarantees the right to organize and bargain collectively and ensure safer, fairer, and more equitable working conditions for all. This reform represents a major milestone in Somalia's commitment to decent work, equality, and justice. It also contributes directly to the implementation of the Djibouti Declaration on Labor, Employment, and Labor Migration and IGAD Regional Strategy 2021 to 2025. Somalia strongly supports the active participation of Horn of Africa Confederation of Trade Unions and Confederation of IGAD Employers with the IGAD and all relevant regional and international platforms. Somalia continues to prioritize the protection of its migrant workers who form an integral part of both our national and regional economies. We are working closely with the IGAD and International Labour Organization to enhance labor migration governance in line with IGAD regional migration policy framework and global compact for safe, orderly, and regular migration. I'm pleased to highlight that Somalia ratified and domesticated all international labor conventions related to labor migration. Somalia also ratified and domesticated ILO Convention number 190 on violence and harassment in the world of workplace, becoming one of the first countries in Africa to do so. This significant step in ensuring safer workplace and protecting dignity of workers, particularly women. In addition, Somalia has developed 3 national policies on labor migration, including comprehensive policy on private employment agencies. These policies provide clear framework for ethical recruitment, skill recognition, and pre-departure orientation and protection of Somali migrant workers abroad. Together, they strengthen our effort to promote their recruitment practices and uphold decent work and principles for all Somali workers, both at home and overseas. We recognize that migrant workers from our region continues to face challenges such as wage theft, lack of written contract, and unsafe working conditions. The Somali government, in partnership with trade unions and employers organizations, is committed to addressing these challenges through a right-based bilateral agreement, improve pre-departure training, and strong engagement with the countries of destination. Somalia also welcomes IGAD's focus on addressing irregular migration along the Red Sea route, including efforts to combat human trafficking and smuggling. These initiatives are vital for protecting lives, promoting regional stability, and upholding human dignity. Somali family believe that effective social dialogue among government, employers, and workers is foundation of good governance in labor and migration policies. These collaboration that produced our new labor code is a model we intended to sustain as we move forward to full implementation. We're equally committed to expanding social protection to workers in both formal and informal economies, and to ensuring that women and young people are equitable access to employment opportunity, something we're working very hard to achieve. Furthermore, Somalia has domesticated key international labor organization conventions, including those on freedom association, labor migration, forced labor, equal remuneration, and occupational safety and health. The government of Somalia continues to work closely with the Federation of Somali Trade Union and employers organizations to strengthen labor inspection and enforcement capacity. Somalia reaffirms its commitment and strong commitment to Djibouti Declaration and to the regional collaboration under IGAD framework. We fully support the ongoing initiative on fair recruitment, safe labor mobility, and harmonization of migration data across regions. We stand ready to contribute effectively or actively to the implementation of IGAD Plan of Action on Labor, Employment, and Labor Migration 2021-2030, and to collaborate closely with the neighboring countries in promoting humane, productive labor mobility that benefit both countries of origin and countries of destination. Your Excellencies, Somalia is determined to continue its path to reform and progress in the spirit of regional solidarity and shared responsibility. We believe that labor rights are human rights, and that our collective effort through IGAD can ensure dignity, fairness, and protection for every worker in our region. On behalf of Somalia, of federal government of Somalia, I assure you on our firm cooperation and continued commitment to advancing the objective of this ministerial conference and wider IGAD agenda for decent work and safe labor migration. Thank you.
Merci, Excellence. Nous vous encourageons dans...
We would like to encourage us to be brief. I'm going to give the floor currently to the ministry from South Sudan. South Sudan, you have the floor.
Dr. Alfred Motua, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Labor and Social Protection, Republic of Kenya. Honorable Omar Abdi Said, Minister of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection of the Republic of Djibouti, chair of this conference. Honorable Ministers of Labor and Interior, IGAD member states. His Excellency Dr. Wakana Gabaribayo, Executive Director of IGAD. Kumbula Nadaba Ayelo, Country Director for Ethiopia, Djibouti, Somalia, South Sudan, and Sudan. Mrs. Nihan Odokan, IOM Deputy Regional Director of Operation for East Horn and Southern Africa. His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Denisa Elena, Ambassador of EU to the Republic of Djibouti and IGAD. Our technical expert, Mr. Kasahun Folo, Chair of HACTO, Dr. David Mogas, Chair of Confederation of IGAD Employers, Civil Society representative here, media houses present, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delegation Republic of South Sudan and on my own behalf, I wish to convey our heartfelt condolences to government and the people of the Republic of Kenya on the passing on of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga on 15 October 2025 in India. He was a true Pan-Africanist, a peacemaker, a liberator, an icon of democracy, and beacon of unity for Kenya and our region. May the Almighty God comfort his bereaved family, relatives, and entire people of Kenya, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. On the same note, on behalf of my delegation, I wish to express our sincere appreciation to the IGAD Secretariat, the International Labour Organization, and other partners like the European Union and government of the Republic of Djibouti and the Republic of Kenya for organizing and hosting this third ministerial conference on labor employment and labor migration. This conference provides an important platform for us as member state of IGAD to take stock of the progress made in the area of labor employment and labor migration, governance in our region. It also gave us the opportunity. It also gave us the opportunity for us as a member of IGAD. It also allowed us to reflect on the challenges and opportunities that shape the world of work across the East Africa Arab State Labor Migration Corridor. We commend IGAD and its partners for their continued commitment in advancing decent work, fair labor migration, and regional labor mobility framework, which are key to economic integration and human development. As we deliberate, let us strengthen our cooperation and harmonize our policies to ensure that labor migration is safe, orderly, and beneficial to both sending and receiving countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the unfavorable political, economic environment and social conditions, including unemployment and natural calamities, have triggered the movement of people across our region in search for better job opportunities to improve their livelihood. We all recognize economic, social benefits of labor mobility are of great importance. It is therefore our collective responsibility to foster conditions that enhance employment creation and decent work for our people in the region. Recognizing the importance of labor mobility within IGAD region, it has become imperative that we adopt a coordinated approach to strengthen the protection of migrant workers by improving migration pathways within member states. Ladies and gentlemen, in response to Djibouti Declaration of 2021, the Republic of South Sudan has made notable progress, including drafted the Labor Migration Policy 2024, drafted the Employment Policy 2024, established Labor Market Information System, set up Migrant Resource Center at the Multi-Training Center in Juba, developed South Sudan Labor Regulations 2023, developing private employment agency, agencies, guidelines and regulations, developing minimum wage policy, drafted Work Injury Compensation Bill 2023, South Sudan ratified the ILO Convention, namely Forced Labor Convention 1930, number 29, Right to Organize and Collective Bargaining Convention 1949, number 98, Equal Remuneration Convention 1951, number 100, Abolition of Forced Labor Convention 1957, number 105, Discrimination Employment Occupation Convention 1958, number 111, Minimal Wage Convention 1973, number 139, Worst Form of Child Labor Convention 1999, number 182, Convention on Transnational and Organized Crime and its Protocol. Launched Decent Work Country Program in October 2023, extended to December 2026. Occupational Safety and Health Policies. 6 conventions are waiting to be rectified by Assembly, namely Convention number 97, Migration for Employment Convention, revised 1949, number 97, Convention 143, Migrant Workers Supplementary Provision, Convention 1975, number 143, Convention 144, Tripartite Consultation International Labor Standards, 1976, number 144, Convention 181, Private Employment Agencies Convention, 1997, number 181, Convention 189, Domestic Workers Convention, the 2001, number 189, Convention 190, Violence and Harassment Convention, 2019, number 190. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Republic of South Sudan continues to make significant strides in advancing skill development for both national and refugees. In this regard, I call upon the member states of IGAD to stand together and speak one voice, guided by our shared interests to strengthen the protection of our workers. Let us commit ourselves to reviewing and aligning our legal frameworks and policies in order to promote decent employment, enhance sound labor migration governance, and foster sustainable development for the benefit of our region and her people. The Republic of South Sudan remains committed to working closely with IGAD member states and development partners to enhance employment creation, protect migrant workers' rights, and promote social dialogue and labor market governance for sustainable development. Ladies and gentlemen, our region wealth is its people. Let this third ministerial conference produce bold, practical commitment. These steps will not reduce vulnerability, they will expand opportunities. In conclusion, I wish once again express my sincere gratitude to the IGAD Secretariat and International Labour Organization for their dedication and commitment in organizing this important conference. I also extend heartfelt appreciation to the government of Kenya for warm hospitality accorded to my delegation. A very special word of thanks goes to our expert for their invaluable contribution. Without which this conference will not have been possible. I equally acknowledge the media houses and the management of this hotel for the services and support rendered throughout this conference. The people of the Republic of South Sudan remain fully committed to the implementation of Djibouti Declaration 2021 on labor, employment, and labor migration, and will continue to work hand in hand with IGAD member states to achieve our shared objective and aspiration. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We would like to congratulate you for the progress you've made with regard to the realizations undertaken with regard to the Djibouti Declaration. I agree with what the ministers have said. We need to have a better governance of migration. I know the Executive Secretary underscored this issue. I'm going to give the floor to Madam Minister from the Republic of Uganda. You have the floor, Madam Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to stand over the protocol as already established in the interest of time. But thank you so much for inviting us for this important engagement, and thank Republic of Kenya for hosting us, and specifically the minister responsible for labor. Kenya is a very humorous man. Would love to stay for longer because of your words. My name is Peace Regis Mutuzo, the Minister of Gender. Is not available, but I'm responsible for culture. I'm responsible specifically for culture and gender issues, but having been in the ministry for over 10 years, I know many of the dynamics. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Uganda, I take this opportunity to thank the government of the Republic of Kenya for the warm hospitality and the support from IGAD, International Labour Organization, European Union. I also want to thank the technical team for the 2 years they have spent working tirelessly. They have done much of the work we should have spent on. I will address a few issues regarding to our obligations and in relation to the Djibouti Declaration. Uganda has put in strategies for human capital development. It is actually one of the priority areas for the National Development Plan form. And specifically in the space of work for economic, social, ecological sustainability, we have put a range of strategies. As a country, we have made some progress on the provision made by the Djibouti Declaration that was signed on the 21st of October 2021, and the recommendations made from the second IGAD Ministerial Conference on labor employment and labor migration that was held on the 2nd of March 2023. We have addressed issues of, in line with the signing of the new rights-based bilateral labor agreement. At least we have already signed the Shamite Kingdom agreement with Qatar, which we did on the 1st of April 2024. In regard to ratification of the International Labour Convention, Republic of Uganda has ratified the Convention C90 on the elimination of violence and harassment in the world of work on the 7th of August 2023. There are 3 conventions that have been cleared by the Attorney General and are waiting for Cabinet approval. Convention 88 on Employment Service Convention, Convention 181, Private Employment Agency Convention, Convention 189 on Domestic Workers Convention. Uganda has revised the National Employment Policy 2011 and further developed the National Employment Strategy to facilitate effective labor market transition. And these documents are awaiting Cabinet's approval. Uganda, in partnership with the International Labour Organization, has developed the Market Information System for compiling and disseminating labor market information to address the skilling gaps, the job matching online, internship, occupational safety and health, and decent work promotion. The Labor Market Information System was launched on the 1st of May 2025 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda with the online digital job matching platform as one of the data sources. The online matching platform aims at enhancing access to employment opportunities for job seekers wherever they are, and also to address issues of returnees who, through jobs, can be able to match them against their skills. Further, on the May 2025, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda launched the 3rd Decent Work Country Program for the period 2025-26 to 2029-2030. To promote decent work as a key component of the country's national development strategy, key strategies in the promotion include promotion of employment, strengthening social dialogue, social protection, gender equality, and addressing decent work deficit in the world of work. On social protection, in 2024, the Republic of Uganda issued a National Social Security Fund Regulation 2024 aimed at promoting expansion of social security and enhancing social security savings in the world of work. This has opened a space for people in the private sector to save with the National Social Security Fund, especially those who already hit the middle income, and the people who are even under 60 can access their remittance for social security for as long as they are about 45 years of age. In regard to the protection of migrant workers' rights, the Republic of Uganda on the 28th of March 2025 launched a Migrant Workers Support Center system, which addresses willing workers to access information on registered recruitment companies to avoid traffickers. The Migrant Workers Support Center provides a comprehensive labor support system and services to migrant workers at various stages their labor migrant journey. Here, the migrant workers are assisted to make informed and timely decisions on protection of their rights, integration into the new communities, promoting safe, orderly, and regular migration, among others. In addition, it updates them on available opportunities for empowerment when they get back home. It provides social psychological support and offers referral services, supports referral services to specialized service providers in the cases of those who have been distressed at the destination areas where they were working. The government of Uganda has also created a helpline. We have a call center 116 where anybody can call and raise a complaint, and these complaints will be integrated into our system and will be helped. Especially those who are working abroad, whenever they call us back home, on that call line, we're able to register and get back to where they are and support them with what we can. I would wish to make 3 final appeals to this important meeting. One is to support the idea that was raised by a colleague from Kenya on IGAD Secretariat taking up the responsibility of coordinating us as member states of IGAD to negotiate for migrant workers with the countries of destination as a bloc. This would address a number of issues that are underway, which every country is facing. Secondly, I wish to put it to your attention that Uganda is hosting many refugees. It's one country that hosts close to 2 million refugees. And in the last 6 months, we have received about 300,000. That speaks a lot to 2 issues. One is climate change, which is one of the causes. The second one is security. The third is gender-based violence. Gender-based violence and gender relations are also another issue that we need to address. To begin with, the workers we are talking about, many of them are domestic workers. And many of the domestic workers are largely females. What's taking them away when they have too many responsibilities, and especially the young women who are in the productive and reproductive stage and age? A number of them are going because of bad gender relations. Our African community is still largely patriarchal, but the young ladies have gotten access to education and are looking for empowerment, economic empowerment. So it is critically important that we go down to identify the causes, solve the causes, and better look for better solutions. Lastly, I would wish to assure IGAD Secretariat, the member states of the IGAD, of Uganda's commitment to ensuring that the objectives of IGAD Ministerial Committee on Labor Employment and Labor Migration will be achieved. The government of Uganda remains committed to fast-tracking of the implementation of the Djibouti Declaration on Labor Employment and Labor Migration and IGAD protocols at large. I wish to appreciate you for coming, appreciate our member states and our development partners, International Labour Organization, the European Union, and other member states for the devotion and commitment they have put together to ensure that we reach this milestone with the 3rd interministerial meeting on the IGAD Convention. And thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Madam, for this very important speech. I would like to give the speech on behalf of Djibouti. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Ministers, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, experts, all protocols observed. It's a great honor for me to speak on behalf of the government of the Republic of Djibouti at this important ministerial meeting organized by IGAD in this beautiful town of Nairobi. I would like first and foremost to present our deep condolences due to the passing of the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to the government and the people of Kenya. We welcome this initiative that we are undertaking, which strengthens the regional consultation on crucial issues related to labor migration, employment, and decent work in our region. Located at the crossroads of migration routes in the Horn of Africa, the Republic of Djibouti occupies a strategic position both as a country of origin, transit, and destination. Every year, thousands of economic migrants from neighboring countries across our territory, while a growing number of foreign workers also settle here, attracted by the opportunities offered by the rapid development of the port, logistics, and infrastructure. Aware of the challenges and the opportunities presented by this reality, the Republic of Djibouti has adopted a proactive approach based on responsible and inclusive governance of labor migration in order to transform this dynamic into a lever for sustainable human and economic development. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Djibouti has undertaken a profound reform of its legal framework for labor, guaranteeing equal treatment between national and foreign workers. Law number 133 of 2016 on combating human trafficking and the smuggling of migrants is a major step forward. It criminalizes these practices and provides for mechanisms for protection, assistance, and reintegration of victims. In addition, our country has concluded several bilateral agreements with host countries to regulate circular migration and ensure protection of Djiboutian workers abroad. At the regional level, we are taking discussions to facilitate professional mobility between IGAD member countries. At the institutional level, there was a creation of the migration unit within the Ministry of Labour, which marks a decisive step forward. It coordinates migration policies, manages partnerships, and monitors international commitments. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the protection of migrant workers remains a priority for the Republic of Djibouti. Our country is committed to ensuring that all migrants without distinction have equitable access to fundamental labor rights, social protection, essential services in accordance with our international commitments. Djibouti participates actively in the IGAD Regional Labor Migration Program and contributes to the work of the IGAD Labor Market Observatory with the aim of strengthening regional databases, sharing good practices, and forming policy decisions. Furthermore, Djibouti calls for regional solidarity to ensure that we harmonize legal and policy frameworks to better protect the rights of migrant workers, mutual recognition of skills and qualifications, and also to work with the social partners in the spirit of cooperation and shared responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republic of Djibouti would like to reiterate its commitment with regard to a regular migration that benefits everything. We remain convinced that only a collective approach based on regional cooperation, human dignity, and sustainable development will enable labor mobility to become a true vehicle for shared prosperity in our sub-region. Thank you for your kind attention.
Voilà.
So we come to this first series of speeches. We're going to go to the second series of speeches with regard to the protocol of free movement, as well as single visa. So the ministers of interior are going to give their speeches. The Secretary General of the Ministry of Interior in Djibouti is going to speak to us. Thank you, Minister, Chair of IGAD, for having given me the floor. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, dear partners, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, it is an immense honor to speak to you during this third ministerial conference of IGAD on labor, employment, as well as labor migration here in Nairobi. On behalf of the government of the Republic of Djibouti, I would like to thank you for good quality discussions and the pertinence of the recommendations that came out of these 2 days of discussion. I would like to congratulate all the delegations for their commitments with regard to producing excellent work that's going to help us realize, integrate within our region and promote prosperity. Within the Ministry of Interior, we reiterate the cross-cutting issue of work that touches on regional stability, social cohesion, migration governance, as well as human security. These are stakes that are all important for our countries. We are all aware that employment and work is not only an economical factor, but rather a factor that promotes peace, that promotes dignity, inclusion. In our country, a lot of youth, women, IDPs are not having access to work. This creates social tensions and brings about a lot of vulnerabilities and security challenges. The work undertaken within the framework of this conference have managed to actually come up with concrete solutions. Number one, strengthen coordination between the Ministry of Labour, Interior, and Social Development to harmonize migration policies within the IGAD region, aligned with the protocol on free movement of people, to ensure that we have social protection policies that are going to help us to help migrant workers that are most of the time forgotten within our policies. I would like to sincerely thank the government of the Republic of Kenya for their warm hospitality and for having contributed to the organization of this conference. I would also like to thank the Secretariat of IGAD, the ILO, African Union, all technical and financial partners. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference ends today, but our work is just starting. We need to ensure that we provide answers to our communities. We commit to do that through the commitments we're going to take in Nairobi. Together, we can go far.
Je vous remercie de votre aimable.
Thank you very much for your kind attention. I'm going to invite the Ministry of Interior, South Sudan. Minister of Interior, South Sudan. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Minister of Labor, Dr. Alfred, distinguished colleagues, leaders, and ladies and gentlemen. During our 3 days here in the meeting, we must never forget our history with today realities on requirement of our era. We should make the past serve the present and take the past as a mirror for today and carrying it forward our regional duties. As the Minister of Interior, addressing critical need for harmonizing migrations policies within South Sudan and IGAD region to foster stability, economic and development. Has a citizen's well-being links with the third IGAD Ministerial Conference. Southern Sudan, we are facing a process borders, limiting our security, armed groups, illegal framework gaps. And you are all aware about the situation in South Sudan. After 1 decade, we have a problem of finance and training, technology, and limitations. These challenges are spread by the economic distribution and reliance on oil revenue, to unlocking the region growth and we propose, as we nominated, harmonizing a legal framework with the IGAD partners, enhance regional security cooperations, investing in a strategic capacity building for immigration officials, promoting economic integration activities, addressing migration drivers like conflicts, climate change, and economic hardship. We advocate a free movement protocol, public awareness, and data-driving decision-making, mobilizing the finance and technical resources. Our collective effect toward mobilizing migration policies will make us to advance and grow stability and prosperity for Southern Sudan and IGAD region. Let us work together to create a future where normalized migration policies serve as a benefit for our region growth, stability for all our people of Southern Sudan and IGAD region. Thank you. God bless Southern Sudan and God bless regional and all Africans. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech, Your Excellency. I'm going to give the floor to the Minister of Interior, Uganda. Uganda.
Chair of IGAD, allow me to stand on the protocol already established. Uganda is delighted and honored to be part of this historic conference regarding matters that collectively affect our people. That is to do with labor, employment, and labor migration. And this in the midst of bulging demographics within our region, and in spite of our huge opportunity potential on the one hand, but also gaps on the other, and labor mobility dynamics among others. We've made singular and collective strides as a region, but we can even do better to ensure enhancement of labor and employment opportunities and smooth labor mobility within our region. Uganda stands with the rest of the members to report that we signed the protocol on freedom of movement of persons and transhumans, as my colleague reported, and we are in the process of ratifying the same. We also agree with the IGAD position to establish a technical committee to refine the draft on the IGAD single visa for non-IGAD travelers. Last, we have an open door refugee policy that allows for those in distress not just to get safe havens from danger, but also to work, because gainful labor is dignifying. Under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and as part of the migration governance architecture, we register aliens as one of our mandates using the National Identification and Registration Authority. And this data is critical for the access of a range of services for refugees and other aliens. Last, ladies and gentlemen, export of labor is not an end in itself, but should be an additional means to the end we collectively desire of multiplying opportunities for our people, not just as a desperate last resort for want of anything else to do, but as one among many other choices to make a decent living and also contribute to national development. We salute IGAD for being a vehicle for our collective noble aspirations to improve labor, employment, and labor migration for our people. I thank you. God bless you for God and my country.
I give the floor to Somali. You have the floor. Republic of Somalia, Federal Republic of Somalia.
Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished delegates, I speak on behalf of the Minister of Interior of Federal Government of Somalia, His Excellency Abdullah Sheikh Ismail, who unfortunately unable to come, but asking me to deliver his speech on his behalf. I want to extend my gratitude to the IGAD Secretariat and our host country, Kenya, for convening this critical third ministerial meeting on labor, employment, and labor migration. The movement of people in our people is a historical constant. Our task is not to stop, but to manage it with order, foresight, and profound respect of human rights. From immigration perspective, Somalia faces a dual reality. We are a country of origin of significant migration flow, host refugees, and serve as a transit country for migrants crossing our areas or crossing from Red Sea to Gulf countries. Our priority has a threefold. One, we are revitalizing our border management system. This is not just about control, but it's about creating safe, official channels for movement. It's about differentiating between the migrant, the refugees, and the victim of trafficking, and the potential threat that comes with it. We are investing in training on our immigration officers to handle these complex situations professionally and in accordance with the international law. Second, the dangerous journey of our youth across Gulf of Aden and Sahara are testament to the failure of irregular pathways. Somalia ratified Transitional Organized Crime, UNTOC, and its supplementary protocols to tackle trafficking in persons and human smuggling syndicates that illegally transport our youth. For domestication of purpose, the human trafficking law in line with the UNTOC Convention has already been drafted and is now waiting approval of our Council of Ministers. The Interpol system, which includes 192 countries, is connected to our immigration system to control movement of criminals. We launched the Electronic Travel Authorization, ETA, to control who is allowed to enter the country for security purpose. We are in the process of implementing the Advanced Passenger Information API to obtain anyone who tries to come to Somalia in the first place. Third, for our diaspora and those who are migrated, we are working to streamline their voluntary return and reintegration in our country. This includes simplified visa process, secure identity or identified documentation, and support system that allows them to bring their skills and capital home effectively. Furthermore, we are committed to working with host countries to ensure that any return of our nationals are conducted in safe, orderly, and dignified manner. All these tasks are part of implementation effort to regional integration, establishing clear, transparent, and legal avenue for work. By doing so, we can undercut the smugglers and traffickers who prey on despair. Our ministry stands ready to work with our counterparties in migration to make this reality. In conclusion, Excellencies, effective immigration management is a cornerstone of a stable and prosperous regional labor market and beyond. It provides the framework that makes legal migration possible and protects the most vulnerable. With the commitment of IGAD, we should collectively ensure that our borders are not barriers, but bridges for legal and productive managed movement. As we listen, ministers who spoke before me, we already initiated on process to streamline visa issues, but we should also work together to ensure that we transform our immigration departments from enforcement silos into partners for development and regional integration. Thank you, Excellency.
Thank you very much. I would like us to have a pause for 5 minutes before we distribute the communique for adoption. But we're going to stay in this room. I just going to ask for a small pause of 5 minutes so that they distribute the ministerial communique. But we stay inside the room.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you for seating us for the meeting. We appreciate. Now we have concluded the discussion of the intervention of our member states from both ministries, and all the deliberations are in line with what we were previously at the opening session we were talking. So allow me to bring you a draft communique within a very short period of time for your comments. But the technical committee has already gone through many times on this communique, but it is very important to see politically if there is anything, and anything that substantial thing is there. We are ready to receive a comment from you. Just wait us on this table. We are printing the communique, capturing all things that you have mentioned. Thank you very much.
Chers collègues, mesdames et messieurs,
dear colleagues, Your Excellencies, ministers, dear delegates, dear technical financial partners, I would like to invite us to adopt the communique, because this was worked on since yesterday. They finished late, and if any member state wishes to give any comments, the IGAD Executive Secretariat is ready to take these comments. But I think since yesterday evening we worked together and we delegated our own experts, including IGAD Secretariat. So this work that has been done since yesterday and that's going to be presented to us, I would like to humbly request the ministers to help us to adopt it, today. And some ministers have comments. Kindly talk to the IGAD Secretariat. This is my humble request. Thank you very much. Let's adopt the communique.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support and second your suggestion. We adopt, and if there are any changes to be done, even ministry or any minister feels there's anything, the Secretariat can always adopt it as is. It's been worked on forever. Thank you. I support, and Kenya adopts.
think it is important that we, before we adopt, because now we are going to officialize this document, and if possible, if they can read it for us and put some few comments, I think it's better. Instead, we just leave it like that, because it's not going to be really legal for us. We adopt and then we go and change it also with Secretariat. If they can read it for us, and then we make some small comments, not too much, it's better. Thank you.
Chairman, as Ethiopia, we support and endorse the communique. Let it be ratified and adopted. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, we do support the communique, but it's important that they display it. If we can display it, project it, we go through, it's important to adopt what we have seen. We are not opposed because we trust the technical team that has gone through it. But if somebody asks me, why did you adopt, what would I say? It is important that we at least display it so that we look at it and agree. Thank you.
As proposed, we have no problem with it. If it continues, yes. يمكن يذكر شباب
Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres, nous allons maintenant...
Your Excellencies, we are going to project the communique. The IGAD Secretariat is going to project the communique, ladies and gentlemen.
Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres,
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, Ministers, the Secretariat has told me that the English version has been distributed. So I wanted to give you some time to look at it to help us move faster. Kindly, I request you look at it. The English version that has been distributed.
oui, oui, si vous pouvez commenter.
You can go on and look at it.
Thank you, Chair. I think I have only two introduction in the preamble. And it said we recognize individuals. I think we recognize the countries, since our name will appear in the signing. So instead of mention names here in preamble, we can recognize the countries that have attended, and then the name of the ministers, those who are signing, I think they will appear on the last. All right, and then now on page number 6, Roman 3, on the IGAD single visa initiative for non-IGAD travelers. When we were in the tea room there, I asked, what do we mean? Is it within the region, the IGAD region, or outside? Here it appears that we are doing that for non-IGAD people. And this one also is another problem. It is really is not, according to me, it is not possible now, given our volatile region. All right? Somebody would want to come to Kenya through South Sudan or through Uganda or through Kenya. With the situation we have economically, I think we will be actually welcoming criminals through other countries. All right? We really need to fix our economy. We really need to give jobs so that this corruption doesn't come in. All right? And I think for time being, I don't think it's viable for us to give a single visa for non-region travelers. This is my humble opinion. Thank you.
Uganda.
I note, Chair, through Chair, I note the reservations of General Oath from South Sudan regarding the single visa issue. And precisely, I think the communique says we are going to consult because we are not yet agreed. And those views will come up. Gladly, yours have come earlier than the rest. So I think the wording is that it's not a fait accompli, but it's work in progress, consulting about this matter. That's how I think it is.
Exactly, je dis comprendre.
Yes, I understand, as Uganda have said, it's not a fait accompli. It's just going to help us to facilitate consultations between countries. This is not a measure that's going to be taken today by the simple signature we're going to oppose on this communique, but it's a work in progress. Thank you. So in the preamble, I'm going to ask the Secretariat to provide an answer with regard to the preamble.
Very much, Excellency. Thank you. For the preamble, we can do it like that. His Excellency, the General, as he suggested. The single visa issue is, I will read it in page 6 to what exactly the Minister from Uganda, as you have said. We are not saying anything. We are going to bring all the reason that why we are thinking this thing, either that makes us vulnerable to any kind of national security or not. So this is the beginning. The purpose and the aim is, to facilitate the tourists to inside to the country. If somebody goes to embassy of South Sudan in Paris or in London, that visa can work for other member states. The notion is bringing, facilitation. Not that embassy doesn't decide on behalf of the other sovereign country. No. So that we are going to make, a technological linkage based upon that. This is the assumption. But now I can read from here the Roman number 3 on the IGAD single visa initiative for non-IGAD travelers in IGAD region. Task the IGAD Secretariat, it says, with facilitating consultations among member states to review and refine the draft protocol, on the IGAD single visa for non-IGAD citizens, with objective of achieving regional consensus, and a clear roadmap for its development and implementation. This is very clearly, the article is here. The intention is, I think, Your Excellency, the Minister's sponsor will be addressed here. Thank you very much.
I give the floor to Madam Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, while we were out for consultation within the ministers, I remember we noted something that we had put attention of IGAD supporters in standardizing and negotiating the externalization of labor. And if we leave it at that, not documented anywhere, I think it will disappear in thin air. I would just request that we add it onto this communique so that it binds the Secretariat and all of us to trust our Secretariat of IGAD to do a standardized negotiation for the external labor such that we are able to have decent work for our people. I beg to pray that it is added onto our communique.
I brought it up with the Secretariat, and they have not been able to print the final copy, but it should be in the final copy that is being transmitted here. Maybe the Secretary can tell us. I think it's just before it should be there. Maybe it can scroll down a bit. You see
on page 6. Please, in page 6, please.
Excellency, we have number 5, expedite the development of a common regional position of IGAD member states on key aspects of bilateral labor agreements in line with international labor standards. Then we have another section under interstate collaboration, where we have stated that the IGAD Secretariat is tasked to spearhead and organize negotiations between collective IGAD member states with collective Gulf Council countries, states, to agree on minimum labor standards for the GCC states, which are countries of destination. So those are the two provisions we have that speak to that aspect.
Êtes-vous satisfait, Madame la Ministre?
Are you satisfied, Madam Minister? Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied with the answer that has been provided? Has your concern been taken care of, Madam Minister? Has your concern been taken care of, Madam Minister?
I think it captures it. I think it's got negotiations, non-negations. There are a few clerical errors. I think the spirit of the matter is that we want to go as IGAD nations, not as an individual nations, to sit on one side of the table, you know, Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, Somali, and on the other side, the ministers of labor of GCC. And we agree, IGAD and GCC, this is what we'll be producing for you. These are the labor rights, these are the salaries, and so we agree that. So if they can be organized, that's a spirit for the Secretariat, that's what we want to capture. I think Uganda, that's what.
Exactly. We need it to be more concrete. The minimum standards, we are talking about the standards as the other communities have negotiated. We have to have our own negotiation arrangements which are really concrete. So we need to put it much clearer than it is now, so that it is not only clear to IGAD Secretariat, but also to the member states, and how it is going to be operationalized, because it is a big deliverable to standardize the labor export, not to act in silos. So I think we need to put more emphasis to that, make it more clear, make it more smart, so that it can deliver a number of issues that we have been struggling with in the way we have been negotiating for external labor force.
Chair, if agree, can we add the word to agree on minimum common labor standards?
Maintenant, conclure à l'adoption.
Now, do we still have some comments? As you know, we have this labor mobility issues with the GCC country. African Union has already worked on this. So this is something that's being done at the continental level, doing our own advocacy at IGAD level, including this in the roadmap, is going to help us to move forward with their negotiations between the African unions and the GCC countries. And of course, this has not yet started. Currently, maybe the Secretariat gonna correct me. We have this initiative on course at the continental level, but in IGAD we also need to have a common vision with regard to this. So we can include that we need to agree together on these minimum standards, while it's something that is important. So for the future, of course, this is going to be discussed at the continental level, but other economic blocs have their own policies, and we also need to have our own policy at the IGAD level. And if this is going to help us to come with continental policies, it's a good thing. But IGAD can also work on this. So I totally agree that you put this wording so that we adopt this communique. So we can put this word, this phrasing, as well as the comments provided by the Excellencies the Minister.
C'est maintenu. Donc je pense.
So we can adopt. Can we adopt? Can we adopt kindly? Thank you.
Donc nous sommes à la clôture.
So I think the Secretariat is going to do the necessary. We are now going to close our 3-day conference.
Can. Okay, dispatch. Can. Oh, حبيت أقصه سر. حاجات سهلة عشان.
Bring English version.
Okay. بالحاجات مش سهلة كارك. Where do you see? In French, yes.
Only put it on this one.
No, yes. It's French. For me. Let me give. No. It's correct. ¿Qué vamos a hacer, Juan? ¿Qué se hace? What are you going to say? No, no, in English. Skip that.
South Sudan, Ethiopia, here, Ethiopia.
Vean. ¿Qué vos hacer?
nous voilà.
So we come to the end of our 3-day conference. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Executive Secretary of IGAD, ladies and gentlemen, a representative of technical and financial partners, honorable guests. This end of these 3 days, we've had constructive discussions. It is with the satisfaction and hope that I speak on behalf of the Republic of Djibouti as the chair of IGAD to close this third ministerial conference. First and foremost, I would like to sincerely thank the government and the people of Kenya for the warm welcome, for the hospitality, for having enabled the organization of this conference. We would also like to thank the Secretariat of IGAD, the ILO, the European Union, IOM, as well as other partners whose solid partnerships enabled the organization of this conference and the pursuit of our common vision for a better governance of labor mobility. I would also like to thank you for the collaboration as ministers, experts from different ministries that came from our member states. Your contributions have helped to enrich the discussions, and the recommendations that have come from here will help us move forward. This conference helped us to take stock of the progress done since the instauration of the Declaration of Djibouti. The discussions have shown the notable progress with regard to coming approach with a regional approach founded on solidarity that will help us to move forward. I would like to call upon you to continue this important work. I would like to reiterate that Djibouti, as chair of IGAD, is committed to work with each and every one of you to ensure labor migration brings dignity, stability, prosperity rather in our country. I would like to congratulate the Secretary of IGAD, financial technical partners, and to thank the Republic and the people of Kenya. Okay, thank you very much for your kind attention. I declare closed this ministerial conference.
Yes. Thank you. I like you, Minister. I like your style. Thank you. Thank you. Very precise and very good. Thank you. Thank you so much.